Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie Daily Review, South African Top 40. So we had yet another day of indecision, and this time we've ended up with a proper range bar. So this is now, if you look at these tails, that's 4 days in a row where the sellers have been stepping in off this level. And as I explained yesterday, this level that we're at is a fairly strong level when you look at it from the weekly perspective. Okay, it's quite a large range, pretty much between the 52,036 and 52,391 area. But after what happened in the US yesterday, I suspect we'll finally get some direction today. So before we get into that, let's just have a look what's happening. So Rand dollar is, Rand is pretty much stronger, 1409, and 10 cent, it's fairly flat, which is surprising considering the political noise happening in the US at the moment around European trade wars now. So 10 cents down, 0.4% at the moment. But I think the important part here was S&P was down 0.6% yesterday, and Nasdaq was down 0.4% yesterday, and they are starting to flirt with quite big levels. And if we start coming down the time frames, although we're still in the range, you'll see we're also flirting with a big level at the moment, and we're looking for a breakout either side of this range at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to add one more level in here, which will be this diagonal, because you can see how price bounced off it here, and then we can go back down to see what we can actually do. Okay, so you can see here the red level that we have here, we've tagged it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Again, it could still turn out to be a flat top triangle where the buyers step in here and push it up again and then try eventually break through this top level. But I'm more of the opinion that we're going to get a move to the downside. So if you look at the oscillator here, we've got quite some serious diversions through this range, and we've even got on the Williams percentage R, we've also got some diversions between this high and that high. Okay, ever so slightly higher than here, whereas that's lower. Okay, so don't be mistaken, the bottom level here is very, very strong. So I just want to delete that, and we're going to fine tune that. So this fractal on the hour is the one that we need to go, and this level is the one that we need to go. And we'll review that now on the half hour. Okay, first things first, the closing range strategy, which is what I suggested you play yesterday. There it is. Okay, we got the breakout, came back to the 50% of the range, which was also above the alligator, and then you had a great opportunity to get in long there for a move up to the range height, and the range height is right here where the profit taking happened. And then there was a second attempt at it, and then profit taking happened again. So both ways, playing that for the long, taking your money on the range heights, top of the range, then taking a short, would have got you quite a nice trade to the downside, where you can see right at the bottom of the trade of the range, the buyers stepped in and pushed it up again. So what we're looking for today is pretty much more of the same. Okay, range is a little bit bigger. Now, if you look at where the break to the downside will come, you can see there is still some support here as well for it. There's an inside tail there. Okay, so, and I don't think, just want to check to the left. I don't think there was something there that we need to pay attention to. Let's just do it on the 4 hour. Not really. Okay. So anyway, trade for today is again this open range break strategy. Now, my bias is still to the downside, and there are a couple of other little things that have happened on the half hour which I think are pretty critical to pay attention to from a price action perspective at the moment, and I'll run through those now. Okay, so let's just get rid of the noise. Okay, first things first is we have a channel breakout. Okay, so there's our channel. We up in the channel for pretty much a day and a bit. Well, half a day yesterday and a quarter of a day the day before. So we ran out of channel. We then broke through the channel. We haven't tested the channel. We have broken through the alligator, but we haven't tested the alligator. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then the second thing that is happening here is we have a consolidation pattern here. Okay, so a break to the downside gives us a target that breaks the range. Now, I think the critical thing to bear in mind here is if we do break through the bottom of this range, and the real bottom is right here at 51965, then we've got nothing really to stop it until we get to that area there, and then obviously that gap close. But what I'd like to do is just pick that up off the 4 hours. So there's my fractal level. If we get through that level, then this is the next level here that we need to pay attention to. Okay, so you look at the 4 hour, we are still in an upward trend, but this consolidation is really messy. And if I look at this measured move target on the 4 hour, it's actually taking us into the middle of nowhere. So I'd go as far as to say 51,633 is what we're after. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm anticipating, really looking at this closing range to break. The closing range target is just below. Let's put that back in. Just get it right. Okay, so the closing range target is pretty much on this inside tail here. Okay, so first targets for the shorts, provided we break below this, out of the range. Okay, so these two tails here, got to get below that, and the break below is on the 5 or 6 minute chart, and you're looking at 5,200 your first target, which makes sense. Expect a bit of a bounce there, and then the trick is to see whether it bounces, finds some resistance, then you can get back in short, and you're going to be looking for the range, which will be 51,965, and then you're looking for 51,860, and then ultimately, for me anyway, if we get below this 51,965, I think it'll be worthwhile holding for at least this gap close here. Okay, you can see just below the gap close because that's where the swing low is. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of what my view is at the moment. We did get a little bit more volatility. If you look here on the awesome oscillator, momentum did pick up a little bit to the upside and the downside, but nothing to write home about. Everything now hinges on what happens here. Okay, so let's delete some of this so we can. Okay, so for me anyway, I'm expecting a second move of this move in consolidation. I'm expecting the closing range to break to the downside. I am expecting some buyers to step in at the bottom of the range, but that would be my first area to take profit. But what I do expect is the bounce that comes up. It could even be a bounce to test the break of the triangle and then to get into this for the short. But ultimately you are looking for the break here, so be careful. So you need to break below 51,965. So you're almost looking for a half-hour close below that level before you can say that this range is breaking to the downside. Okay, so that's my view at the moment. Going to be trading this closing range strategy again. There's some money on the table for that, because whichever way it breaks, up or down, is where you'll be able to take profit. But I am anticipating this breakout just appearing to the downside. Okay, here we go, guys. That's it for me today. Hope it helps, and I will catch you later. Cheers for now.